It's your girl Anyanga over here, hoping that you are healthy, wealthy, and free, and loving your life. As always, forever. Keep it here, keep it here, keep it here. Keep the love over here. Okay, let's get into it. So, today is going to be about input versus output. So, this is from one of the programs that I'm doing. This is from the Life Book program, John and Missy Butcher with Mind Valley. And what they talk about is basically at some point you need to be able to digest what you take in, all the information that you take in, and then you need to be able to give your own output, give your own version of it, your own explanation of it. You need to give it an output, right? Because you can't just be taking things out and taking that and giving nothing. You can't just be a taker and not a giver. Yes, that makes sense. Yeah. So this is it. You know how? So for example, I every morning go for a run. Well, not every. I felt a little bit guilty over there for a second. Not every, because I didn't go today. But on most mornings, I go for a run or a morning stretch, during which I like to listen to some motivational videos, motivational speeches, whatever you would call them. And, it really gets me pumped. You have all this energy inside and you're like, yay, let's do this. Today I'm going to do this, and this. And I have all the plans. I'm going to call this person and talk to this person and complete this task and, write my blog and all that stuff. And then you get to the actual day and don't really get to do the things that you were so pumped up to do. And then the next morning comes and it's the same thing. Okay, y'all know I try to make this personal, but then it always switches between the you and the I. You, I. So it's a we. It's we. It's us in this situation. Okay, let's just understand that. So when you hear you, it's you, and it's me. When you hear I, it's me, and it's you. Okay, cool. So I'm all pumped up about it, and I have this whole to-do list for the day, and I know I'm going to do it. But then again, a day does have 24 hours, right? And I have to sleep and eat and rest and get bored at some point in the course of the day, right? So it's the input and then equalizing the output. So what they say is that once you've gotten all of this input, it can't be that I'm consistently just taking in information, taking it in and not regurgitating it, not giving it an output through my own creativity. Because one of the things that we need to do, we're all different people, we all have different ways of expressing ourselves, we all have our own versions of creativity. This all needs to be shown to the world. In these little ways of creativity, that is our gem, our purpose, our little unique gift to the world. So in seeing or realizing our own creativity, and it could be in anything. There's the usual writing, singing, drawing, art that we know, but even in your scientific ways, right? Maybe you just figure out that there's a different way of doing this particular subject, or even if it's a different way of doing a particular task, or if it's in the way you talk to a person. But some way, everything that you're taking in needs to be put out in your own version. You need to find a way to actualize all the information that you're taking in, all the knowledge that I have. I need to find a way to use it. So as I'm getting all this information about self-mastery, about being positive, about always exuding positive energy, then that needs to show in the way I treat people at the very least. It needs to show in the way I walk on the street. It needs to show in the way I relate with my colleagues. It needs to become a part of me such that it is visible in everything that I do. Otherwise, what's the point of taking stuff in if I'm not going to give it out? If it's not changing me, then why am I taking it in? All this knowledge needs to do something. I need to do something with it. Otherwise, I'll just explode. I can't just be taking stuff in. And then giving it out and finding a way to make it my own. That's the word. Making it my own. Finding a way to own it. Because, yes, it's information that's in the world and I'm getting it from somebody. But then it's in me now. And therefore, I make it my own and give it to somebody else who will pay it forward. Let's use that phrase, pay it forward. Okay, so if it's in the way I relate to people, the way I write a blog post, the way I post in my social media, the way I record this video, that it needs to come out in some way. And in that sharing, then we're passing on that gem in the millions of ways that I don't know, in the way I decide to arrange my room, organize myself, in passing on this same information, whether it's something informative like educational, if it is educational, in the way I choose to teach it to somebody else. That's also a form of expressing yourself. And once you know that, because as Jim Kwik, I'm sure somebody else said it, but then I heard it from Jim Kwik, as Jim Kwik says, once you teach somebody what you know, you get to learn it twice. And then it becomes really a part of you. Then it's really, it's stuck in you. So once I'm able to show my creativity, and there's a joy in releasing your creativity and really bringing it out and being able to express it. You evolve in a way. Then your craft, your skill, your gift evolves. It grows. It becomes a little more you, a little more beautiful, a little more, I don't know, unique. And that's where we all need to find that unique self in us, and then figure out how exactly to share that, how exactly to express that to everybody else. So in taking in all this, as I said, of course, you need to figure out your way of doing this. Then you need to sit with the information that you have. Think about, what does Ralph Waldo Emerson and his book on self-reliance, how am I going to apply this to my life? Or how does this make me feel? Just sit with it, sit with the information and digest it. Because he talks a lot about, you're not somebody else. Yes, you read their books. He says, for example, Shakespeare, he didn't just become Shakespeare out of nowhere. He learned all of the stuff that he knows. He learned it from either reading about it or, and then he found himself in understanding all of this information, all of these rules or all of these ways of doing things. In finding out all of this, then he let himself embody it and then expressed it. And in expressing it in the Shakespearean way, he became Shakespeare. He became himself, right? The same way that a person who decides to study Shakespeare will not become another Shakespeare. There's only one Shakespeare. You become you. And that's what we need to strive to do. Take as much as we can, absorb everything that we can, sit with it, and then let it blossom in our own special way. That's what we need to do, and that's not the easiest thing, of course, but it's something that we need to strive to do, because there's a freedom that comes with it. There's a freedom in me being able to speak like this to you. There's a relief that I feel, relaxation in my mind in expressing me as authentically as I can to you. So, input versus output. You need to they need to balance. We need to let it balance. We need to find ways in our reading, in our writing, in our singing, in our dancing, in our being happy, in my running, in my jogging, in my greeting people, in my everything, talking to my friends. And yes, I just need to find the me in it. And the me in it embodies all the information that I take in. I hope that made sense. I hope you like it. That is my gem for the day. Ciao.